And Matt, what is the latest that we know about the investigation to the person or persons responsible for this attack yesterday?
Well, actually, David, it seems as though we know less now than we did this morning, at least for certain. The police this morning, according to a number of German press sources, had apprehended a suspect they thought may be responsible for driving a stolen Polish truck through the Christmas market behind me and killing 12 people. By this afternoon, the police said they think it's possible they have gotten the wrong man, so that the suspect, that the true perpetrator, may still be out there and armed, because the truck that was stolen was also occupied by a dead body of a Polish truck driver, which had been shot. So the concern is that someone's still out there. Also, the police said they're not sure if this was one perpetrator or a group of people who organized this attack. So it seems that they know very little about what really did happen here, although you heard Angela Merkel say what they fear the most is that it's someone who came here from a refugee nation seeking asylum, seeking protection, who committed this crime. David?
Matt, how have you seen the city respond to this? Obviously, response initially to the attack itself, but now to this news that there may be a suspect or suspects at large. What's happening in the city itself?
I mean, honestly, just an outpouring of sympathy and, flowers being laid, candles being lit here. This morning, there were hundreds of people. Now, I would guess there are 1,000 people or more gathered around this Christmas market. Keep in mind, this is normally an incredibly highly populated shopping area. The Kudamm is right down the street here, where all the most expensive sort of high-end luxury stores are, but also the big consumer market stores. Right behind me, the Gedächtniskirche, which is the memorial church of Kaiser Wilhelm. It was blown to smithereens during World War II, but left that way to remind people of the horrible tragedy that they'd gone through. There is a church service actually going on right now in the Kaiser Wilhelm Church. The police have opened up a path through the cordoned-off area here and allowed worshipers to go in. Just about 10 or 15 minutes ago, they've started a church service.
After yesterday's attack on a Russian ambassador to Turkey, Vladimir Putin spoke out very forcefully about what the response might be from Russia based on that attack. Have we heard from Angela Merkel in similar terms? Has she talked about what kind of response we could see in light of what happened yesterday?
I mean, she's only talked about the response that she is preparing, her government is preparing against the perpetrators of this crime. So using every measure of the law available to her to find out who did this, to find out why and how this was done, and to prosecute the person or the people involved. As far as anything else, she hasn't made any comments as far as terrorist groups, for example. No one has claimed, obviously, responsibility yet. And the suspect that they have, as I said, they're not quite sure is the right suspect or the perpetrator of this actual crime itself. David?
Very quickly here, Matt, is she able to deal with this? Is Angela Merkel able to deal with this outside the crucible of politics? Is the German population allowing her that, or is it something she simply can't avoid at this point?
It's obviously a very difficult situation, and it would be made even more difficult if it turns out that a refugee did commit this crime. But to be frank, Angela Merkel does not have much opposition in this country. The SPD, which currently is in a coalition government with her, doesn't really have a strong candidate to run against her, and anyway isn't to the right of the CDU. The only party to the right is the AfD, Alternative for Deutschland, which has won some state elections but doesn't have any power in the federal Bundestag, and therefore couldn't really put up a real opposition to her in the elections come September, at least not as it looks now, David.